In the book, former President Bush examines how he made some of the most critical decisions of his lifetime. And clearly, as non-politicians, citizens, we can't fully understand the weight of some of those decisions he had to make. But what about his process? How do you reach some of those decisions? Joining me this afternoon is Michael McGrath. He's written several books on how to make decisions, including this one, Business Decisions, which focuses on how to be more decisive while reducing risk. Mr. McGrath, thanks for being here. All right, people's opinions all across the country, even in Texas, somewhat differ on the performance of the Bush administration. But as far as making decisions over the 8 years of his presidency, would you call him decisive?
First of all, Keith, it's a fascinating book because he really gives us an insight into the White House through what he says is the most important role that he plays, and that's making decisions, and no other president really has done that. It shows insight into his decision style. Being decisive, I would say it's mixed. He's not hesitant to make decisions, but his style is much more gut feel as opposed to being deliberate, and you need a little bit of each. So, not decisive in the terms of being the best decision maker, but he certainly is not somebody who procrastinates in decisions.
Okay, all right. And how important, when you're in a leadership role, whether you're the President of the United States or a CEO or a manager or a parent or whatever, how important is it to be a decisive person in a leadership role?
It's absolutely critical, Keith. It's really critical. When the BP had its problems, I was very quick to say that the leader of an organization, the CEO, really sets the tone for the decisions that are made. And, President Bush points that out very clearly in his book. He points out the way he made decisions, the tone that was set through the people he hires and the process.
And so do you think, having read the book, do you think former President Bush is defending, or is he rather explaining his decisions in the book?
To be fair, he really is explaining. He's not defending. He's getting a lot of criticism for that, but I read the book this morning with that in mind, and he's really explaining, and that takes a lot of courage to do.
And what can we learn through the book? What can we learn from his decisions and his decision-making process?
There's actually a lot, and it's 14 chapters, and 3 or 4 of them really stand out. The process in making the decision on the Iraq War really points to the key assumption, which was, were there weapons of mass destruction? And the whole premise for the war was based on that, and it proved not to be a valid assumption. We can all learn from that lesson, and we can all learn that we have to be deliberate in estimating the cost of some of our decisions. That was a $2 trillion decision.
Okay. All right. Michael McGrath, author, thanks so much for joining us.